So this is the last half of 4.2. We're going to talk about how to work these problems out using order of operations. So the first thing when we're going to evaluate these numerical expressions, order of operations says parentheses. Remember, parentheses could really be parentheses or it could be a grouping symbol. So our first set over here, we have in parentheses, I see something right here. 8 divided by 2. Remember that this fraction bar really means division. So let's do what's inside that first, okay? So that's going to leave me with 4. If I don't use it, I'm just going to bring it down until it's time for me to do that. So I've got 4 parentheses. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Minus 3. And then look right here. I see a whole nother set of parentheses. So I want to do what's inside there. Negative 4 times 5. Remember the rule for multiplying and dividing. If you have a positive number and a negative number, when you do multiplication, you get a negative. All right? So the next thing it says to do in our order of operations is distribute multiplication or division from left to right. If I look at this, what do I have? I have distributed property. That's multiplication. That's multiplication. So let's go ahead and want to do that first. So 4 times 4 makes 16. Here I have negative 3 times negative 20. A negative times a negative is a positive. So that makes 60. And then we're down to our last step. Our last step is going to be either addition or subtraction from left to right, whichever one comes first. So here I only have addition, so let's do that. 16 plus 60 makes 76, and that's our final answer. Okay, let's look at our next problem. I have parentheses here, and that means 2 divided by 3. Now, can I really do 2 divided by 3? Not really, without getting a decimal. But I have to raise it to the second power. See, there's my exponent. So I'm going to do that first. So what does that mean? That means 2/3 times 2/3. And what is 2/3 multiplied to 2/3? Well, the rules for fractions says top times top, bottom times bottom. So when I do that, I get top times top. 2 times 2 is 4. Bottom times bottom, 3 times 3 is 9. Now I'm going to bring this down here and I'm going to work this out. It's a square root sign. There's my radical sign that I was talking about in the previous slide. And I want to know, this is the square root of 36. What multiplied to itself gives me that 36? Well, that would be 6. So that would be 6 over 1. Remember we talked about the 1 down here? Any number divided by 1 is just that number. So now I have fractions again. So I want to multiply. I have 4 times 6, top times top, and 9 times 1, bottom times bottom. So when I multiply those across, I get 4 times 6 is 24. 9 times 1 is 9. Now remember something that I always harp on. If you can reduce it, reduce it. So I have 24 over 9. Can 24 over 9 be reduced? Yes, yes it can. It can be reduced by 3. So I'm going to divide that by 3, and I'm going to divide that by 3. So 24 divided by 3 makes 8. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and I get 8/3. And again, you can leave it as improper as long as it's reduced. Okay, now let's talk about the last one. This is 15 divided by, division sign, the cube root of 27. What did that mean? That means what multiplied to itself 3 times gives me 27. All right, that would be a 3. So I'm going to have 15. I didn't use the 15. I didn't use the division bar yet. 3. So the cube root of 27 is 3. Now, I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem, plus 7 to the second power. I haven't done that yet. Now, that was our grouping symbol. So the next thing would be exponents. Over here I have exponent of 7 to the second power. What is 7 to the second power? All right, that means 49. So I'm going to bring this down, 15 divided by 3 plus 49. Okay? So now the last thing we have to do is work this part out, because division is one of the last steps when we're working these problems. 15 divided by 3. Absolutely, I can do that and get 5. And then plus 49. And the last step is addition. So what is 5 plus 49? Let's see. That's 14. Carry the 1. That would be 5. So 54 is my final answer. All right? Good job. Next, we're going to work on algebraic expressions doing evaluating.